rings, I just wanna play offs. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it. Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerge victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just try not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the Houston Texans. 3-0 versus 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in Week 4.
So don't say nothing.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. This one complete to Giovanni Bernard. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now a first-time 1,000-yard rusher from a season ago, it's Derrick Henry. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A give to Henry.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Third and 1.
Here we go, here we go. 180.
Check, 55 to right. I'm coming.
50. Easy, easy.
Showing up.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Like 80.
Check, 55, Mike. Coming to you, coming to you.
Flash it, turn.
From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down.
Switch.
Now a handoff to Henry. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Daniel Carlson on for the field.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed. Disappointed with that effort.
Ready. Lady.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the slant.
They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
You go set. 180.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. Great first drive defensively. 3rd and... Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The throw over the middle taken in. And now we see Bryant yet to pop up. Still down following that play. We'll check on his status when we get back. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Back to throw, Stafford. And he finds Danny Amendola. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
It's a gain of 10. And the Panther 1st down.
Yellow 80. Yellow 80. Zebra.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
10.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, it's Elliott. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Stafford on 3rd down. He completes it to Bryant. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Dez Bryant, his third touchdown now on the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. This is Elliott. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
22.
10th carry now for Elliott. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. You know they'd love nothing more than to get a 3-and-out here after having the interception.
And it also tells you a little bit about how they feel about their leader, right? Their quarterback throws an interception in the previous series. They're trying to help him out here with a big stand.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. But now it's 3rd and goal.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
Sanders' kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And now out comes Houston. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
Get ready, get ready.
On second down now, Bernard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards there, first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A loss of 2 there, second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Now Roethlisberger, and he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Rashawn Gary with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. Now the question, what do you do here? Time's not really an issue. You got over a minute, but you figure from this spot you'd need a good 50, 60 yards to even consider a field goal try.
Yeah, so there's optimism there, but there's also a little bit of restraint, right? You got to make sure you don't take a sack here. Don't end up in the end zone. Ball gets stripped. You could give up 2 points in that occasion, or maybe even 6 if you can't get on it and recover it yourself. So make sure you protect the guy throwing the football if indeed that's the plan of attack.
7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. Runs through the contact. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Lady!
54 miles. Hey, here I come. Here I come.
Second half starts with a carry by Elliott. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Again, it's Elliott. Fights through, and now a crease. 27 yards there, a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Caught right side is Jeffrey. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let him know right away I'm throwing.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep route, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Here we go, here we go. White 80. At 44. Watch his square. White Alpha.
Mike 55, Mike 55.
I got it. Hey, check Mike.
They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. But it'll be 2nd down.
Well, struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them. Pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. Roethlisberger, he's letting it fly for Cooks. That's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Houston. John Brown, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans draw a bit closer. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Red 80.
We want this.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They go to Elliott again. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 48-yard line. Now a run. This is Bilal Powell. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Xavier Woods, the free safety, up to make the tackle.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Watch the screen. Pass.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 3rd down, Elliott. And a short gain here down to the 22. 1-yard gains are trending the same result on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
Like 20. 55. Hey, eat. Watch a slant. Watch a slant. Watch a slant. Kill. Snickers, 66. 55.
On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Bruce Carter came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Easy.
Here's Roethlisberger. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. He's going deep for Brent into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Gary and Conley.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
You must be dreaming. Out. Slam.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
They'll run on first down. Elliott, they're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brings up second and 12.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
58 to Mike, 58 to Mike.
Hey, they scared.
From the 50, Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Off the edge, the sack by Matt Ioannidis.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Play action. Stafford. And he's going to go down again. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
Like 30.
Pick it up.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. Here's Roethlisberger. And this one complete to Will Fuller. The 30, the 20, touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 85 yards, and the Texans have cut it to within a score. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And it looks like the Panthers' hands team does its job. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On first down, it's Elliott. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20. But that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Elliott a first down and more. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Ezekiel Elliott, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it might seal the deal as that makes it a 2-score game here with not a lot of time remaining. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Blue 30. 55.
Let's go, dude. Tighten up.
Alert. Check.
Throwing now is Roethlisberger. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Elliott. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Panthers, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
My jewelry coat is chill. Storage treacherous, I effortlessly show 'em skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, so suspenseful, I'm up in the field. Saw it in my eyes, it was the Tiger Hill. Don't jump off the line and see the flight of field. Rewrite your history, I'm this line right here. Your best bet be ahead, it's to get rich or dead. Trying, this ain't never new, I just be 10 steps instead. Snooze, I won't, I can't lose, really rest or a bed. Do what you can to do, make your next move your best. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Hit first off the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way before the deal. Say this one for your photo reel. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. I do it for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I keep it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, let's go. Get first off the edge like I don't know no feel. See that pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way before the deal.
It's lonely on top of the throne. I ain't a king of the pawn. Hop on a jet across the globe. I guess the road is my home and there's so many milk. Bird in my dome and like turbulent air. I'm switching these flows. If you look at my neck, boy, I'm letting it snow. I'm sturdy as hell as a vessel alone. They showing me love in my city. Gangs ain't hippies. Women like Nick, you know what I'm about. I'm not. The stereotypes, they do not fit me. I'm bigger than life. Gave everyone jobs. I'm not a guard. Go hard with a squad. I'm playing my part, but them LeBron. Rings to the team, I feel Jackson and hard. The homie calling from a cell. A couple of homies be making it. I just want all of them dudes to do well. Not worry about taking a couple of L's. Don't sin for me, just win for me. Don't kill for me, just live for me. Keep it real for me. We eat together, leave the bill for me like. Hand on my heart, I give it all I got. Walk the walk and talk the talk. Take it higher, that's a God. Hand on my heart, no, I give it all I got. Walk the walk, talk the talk. Take it higher, that's a God. Never stopping, that's a must. Always winning, never lost. GPS, I never lost. GPS, I never lost. Who do it better than me? Yeah. Vision on 2020. Yeah. VVS, Clarity. Yeah. Determination, laser focus. Banging on they know they taking notice. Taking notice. Taking notice. Determination, laser focus. Banging on they know they taking notice.
Rick Rock. Tick-tock. West hip-hop. Are you ready for some football? Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. Come on. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard. My team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is. I get it. Come on. I got cleats on my feet, jersey on my back, helmet on my head, ready to attack like that. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. Your team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy. Tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy. Tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg, and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard, my team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, now get it. Big Snoop Dogg, it's in the game.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest. Oh, I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost.